Let me tell you a simple fact. If you buy a bottle of water at the supermarket, it costs 50 cents. If you buy the same bottle at a gym, it costs $2. If you buy it at an airport, it costs $5. The bottle is the same. The water is the same. The brand is the same. So, why does the price change? Because the location changes. Many of us feel worthless, useless, or small. But often, the problem isn't you. The problem is where you are. Today's story is about a young man named David who thought he was worth nothing until an old, rusty watch taught him the most important lesson of his life. David was 30 years old, but he felt like he was 80. He worked as a junior graphic designer in a company that didn't respect him. His boss constantly criticized his work. His colleagues ignored his ideas. He was underpaid and overworked. Every morning, David looked in the mirror and thought, maybe they are right. Maybe I am just not good enough. His confidence was shattered. He began to believe that he was cheap. One rainy Sunday, David visited his father, Thomas. Thomas was a retired mechanic who spent his days in his dusty garage fixing old machines. He saw the sadness in his son's eyes. "Dad," David said, "I think I'm going to quit. I have no value." Thomas wiped the grease off his hands and walked over to an old wooden chest in the corner of the garage. He pulled out a small box. Inside was a watch. It looked terrible. The glass was scratched, the strap was broken, and the metal was rusty. "David," his father said, "before you quit, I want you to do me a favor. This watch is very old. I want to know how much it is worth. Go to the watch repair shop down the street and ask the owner." David didn't understand, but he obeyed. He took the rusty watch to the local repair shop. The shop owner was a busy, grumpy man. He took one look at the watch and laughed. "This piece of junk," the owner said. "The mechanism is probably dead. The glass is ruined. Look, I'll give you $5 for the metal parts." That's it. David returned to the garage, feeling defeated. "Dad, it's just scrap metal. The guy offered me $5. See, even your watch is worthless, just like me." Thomas smiled gently. "Okay, now, I want you to go to the pawn shop in the city center. Ask them." David went to the pawn shop. The man behind the counter examined the watch with a magnifying glass. He shook his head. "It's old, kid. Nobody buys these anymore. It's too damaged. I can give you $10, but I'm doing you a favor." David went back to his father, frustrated. "Dad, stop wasting my time. $5, $10, it's trash." Thomas looked at his son seriously. "One last stop, David. Go to the city museum. Ask to see the curator. Tell him you have a vintage chronograph from the 1920s. David rolled his eyes. "A museum? For this rusty thing?" But he went. The museum was quiet and elegant. David felt out of place. He met the curator, an elderly man in a suit. David nervously took the rusty watch out of his pocket. "My father wanted me to show you this," he mumbled, expecting to be kicked out. The curator's eyes widened. He put on white gloves and gently took the watch. He examined it under a bright light. His hands were trembling. "My goodness," the curator whispered. "Do you know what this is?" David shook his head. "This is a rare prototype from 1924. Only 10 of these were ever made. It is a masterpiece of engineering. Even in this condition, ... It is priceless." The curator looked at David. "We have been looking for this model for years. I can offer you $1 million for this piece to include it in our collection." David stood frozen. $5, $10, and now $1 million. He ran back to his father's garage, breathless. "Dad, you won't believe it. The curator offered $1 million. He said, "It's a masterpiece." Thomas sat down on his stool and looked at David. "I wanted you to know that the right place values you in the right way," Thomas said. "David, at the repair shop, you were just scrap metal. At the pawn shop, you were old junk. But at the museum, you were a treasure. Don't find yourself in the wrong place and get angry if you are not valued. Those who know your value are those who appreciate you. Why are you staying in a place that treats you like $5 when you have the potential of $1 million? Psychologists call this contextual value. A diamond in the mud looks like a rock. A diamond on a ring looks like a gem. Your environment acts as a lens. If the lens is dirty, you will look dirty." David quit his job the next day. He didn't become a millionaire overnight, but he started looking for his museum, a company that respected his talent. And eventually, he found it. Are you feeling worthless today? Are you surrounded by people who treat you like the repair shop owner? Stop arguing with them. Stop trying to prove your worth to people who cannot see it. You are not broken. You are just in the wrong room. Pick up your worth and move. If you are ready to find your true value, type "I know my worth" in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel to discover more hidden treasures in life.